Satch barely fits in there. I'm sitting there. Ed's cracking up. Tom Grillo's eyes are like, I'm going to die. Like I'm just not going to make it. And I'm sitting there. And as we're getting ready to leave, the pilot's like, oh yeah, by the way, it may be a little rough.
Welcome to the Tip the Scales podcast, where we discuss running and growing your law firm. I'm your host, Maria Monroy, president and co-founder of LawRank. It's been a really, really long time since I've had two guests on at the same time, but I am joined by Jay Vaughn and Ciarimboli. They both try to take over as hosts at some point, which I did not appreciate. And don't worry, I didn't let them. We honestly were just kind of shooting the shit. I hope that you guys enjoy this episode.
You've never seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
I mean, I'm sure I have. I just don't remember it.
No. Oh.
Hold on. Have you ever seen Animal House?
No.
Okay. Have you ever seen Caddyshack?
No.
Have you ever seen The Godfather?
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't remember it. I should watch it again.
Have you ever seen
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels?
No.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels? Okay. And have you ever seen what's a good classic? Fletch.
No.
Okay. Just based on the movie title alone, Fletch, what do you think the movie is about?
Baseball? I don't know.
Wow.
Baseball? And what about baseball?
Oh, it is?
No.
Damn it.
But what kind of baseball?
I have no idea.
All right. So
What's it about? Why are you looking at me like, okay, hold on. Time out. What year did these movies come out?
I mean,
80s,
you're old
90s.
enough to know all these
80s.
movies.
Okay,
and
hold on.
90s.
80s, 90s. I moved here when I was 8. I didn't speak English till I was like 10. So that would have been 95. So I think I should be, and culturally, I still wasn't American yet.
did they have a Blockbuster near you when you moved here?
I didn't speak English. And like, how would I know about these movies? Like, my parents didn't watch them. It's like a cultural thing.
Okay. All right.
You know, they were watching like telenovelas.
Have you seen Old School?
That sounds like something I've seen.
Have you seen Tommy Boy?
I don't think so.
Oh, man.
How about we do this? You guys send me a list.
We just did.
Did you record this?
Yeah.
So, just based on the movie title of Tommy Boy, what do you think that movie's about?
Tommy? No.
We need a little bit more than that. Come on, give us the movie,
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like a nickname. So maybe like he played a sport and they called him Tommy Boy.
What type of movies do you like? Like, if you had to go to a genre, because maybe we'll throw one out to throw you
Like,
a softball.
I mean, I like chick flicks.
Okay, got a good chick flick for you.
Okay.
The Notebook.
I love The Notebook.
Okay.
Have you seen
Yes.
Clueless?
Of course.
How about Matthew McConaughey did like 100 rom-coms. What's a good one? Ghosts of Girlfriend's Past. What do you think that one's about? Pretty self-explanatory.
Did someone die?
So, non-comedy, non-chick flick, really good movie. I know you haven't seen it. You have to. Have you seen Usual Suspects?
No, but it sounds like if you had said Usual Suspects, I know it's a movie.
So you
I
don't know who
probably have,
Contra Sosa is.
I don't remember it. So here's the other thing. I don't have a good memory for movies. Like, I will watch a movie and then 8 years later, I'll watch it again. And then like at the last 10 minutes, I'm like, fuck, I've seen this and I know how it ends.
Have you seen
It's
Can't
the
Buy Me
worst.
Love?
No.
Can't buy me love.
But yeah, maybe I haven't. I just don't remember.
Ooh.
This is...
And I like TV shows better because movies put me to sleep.
The Leftovers.
How do you know that I've seen The Leftovers?
Look at this. This guy's paying attention.
I'm watching it right now. It's
The
about,
Leftovers?
yes.
I enjoyed it.
It's a little weird. A little too
I like
weird.
Paul Giamatti, though. I like him.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm
but
just a fan of his.
it's just, it's like a little too out there.
It is.
Like, I feel like I don't know where they're taking it. I'm like, where are you going with this? I can't wait till the end. It reminds me of Lost.
Wow.
Like at some point, it just
Right.
like, you're like, why? I don't
Right.
get it. Huh?
Okay.
You guys seem very annoyed
So a
or
little-
disappointed with
No.
me.
So a little fun fact about Lost.
Yes.
The guy with the bald head,
Yes.
John Locke,
Mm-hmm.
had dinner at my house.
Really? Get
So
this.
my wife, one of her, the people that was on her Studio B platform, She was a mindfulness teacher, yoga instructor, and she was in filming for Studio B, and that's her boyfriend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
The kids were flipping out because they were big Lost fans.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real nice guy. Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say, what? So I was thinking about this morning. What's the dumbest thing a client's ever done? The dumbest.
Dumbest thing a client's ever done. I have to think.
Do you know your answer?
Oh yeah.
What is it?
All right.
What's your? Because I'm not.
Yeah.
While
I'm not
Jay
coming
thinks
up with it.
about
All right.
it.
So
I
I'm
have to
getting
think
ready.
about
This is like 10 plus years ago. I'm getting ready for trial, and I'm prepping the client, and so the client's sister is going to come in. She's got to be on video because she can't make it for trial. Right. So I tell her, send your sister in. She comes in, and very, very nice person, right? Prepping her. She's like, what? She says, what should I wear? I said, look, just like you're going to go to church on Sunday, something appropriate.
That's
right?
what you should have said to me this morning. I called Jay this morning. I'm like, what? I have to speak. What do I wear? What are you wearing? He's like, no, you need to dress up. I'm like, oh, keep going.
He's lying. So I'm like, fine. So the trial video depth for trial set for like couple days after we prep. She does a really good job in the prep. She shows up, and I'm not kidding you. She has a full-blown pirate outfit on. Pirate outfit.
Wow.
She has the boots, like the big, like knee-high boots. She's see-through, like sheer black leggings, red thong. I can't make it up. Red thong, white puffy pirate shirt, black bra, see-through. Everything's see-through, by the way. I don't know.
Wait, but I'm confused. You told her what
Church. So I didn't know what kind of church she went to, right? That's the problem. I didn't know what
is there any kind of church
I don't know what freaky shit she's doing on a Sunday or Monday or whatever day she even goes to church. And then she's got the white shirt on, see-through, black bra, and she's got this big bouffant like scarf around. And she comes in and sits down and I'm like, oh my God.
What did you say?
I said, what? She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, you gotta be on video. Like, what? I can't show this video to anybody in this jury pool. I was like, what did you think? She's like, well, this is kind of how I dress normally all the time. I'm like, and going to church? She's like, well, I don't really go to church, It's like, but I kind of imagine going to church in this.
What?
And I'm like, what? I said, look, obviously we're here now. I can't throw a blanket over. I think you're going to have to do this. And
wait, she didn't like go to like Target and buy something?
we were on. I mean, like we were like literally, she walked in and like she was sitting down and going to do the deposition. And so we did. I still have it floating around somewhere. And every now and then I'm like, oh my God, that's the pirate video.
Did it impact the case?
Case fortunately settled. So we never had to play it, but it would have dramatically impacted.
Makes you think of the Seinfeld episode.
Dramatic.
But I don't want to be a pirate.
Total puffy shirt. Total puffy pirate shirt. Yeah. Dressed up.
I can't think of anything dumb my clients have done, but even if I could, I wouldn't say it because I can't top the pirate story.
Oh God.
No way.
Listen, I've had
a client do something that it ultimately was dumb, but withholding information.
Yeah.
It was my very first jury trial, and my client was allegedly sexually harassed by her lesbian supervisor, whose name was Ruth. And Ruth grabbed her boob in the office in front of people, and her sister was a witness. So I prep her sister, and her sister takes the stand, and the sister starts answering questions the opposite of the prep and bearing my client that none of this happened, doesn't know what she's talking about, never heard of this. And she gets off the stand, and the sister walks around to the owner of the company and pats him on the back in front of the jury and leaves the courtroom. And my very first trial, my wife's there, my mom's there. I'm in northeastern Kentucky, so 2 hours from where I'm from, and take a break, and I lean over my client, and I just look at her and go, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah.
She goes, "Oh, I didn't tell you. My sister and I are feuding. We don't talk anymore." I said, "Don't you think it's something I would like to know before I put her on the stand?"
That's a relevant piece of information. They should.
So I don't have anything dumb, but I have something that tank the case.
Gotcha.
When do you fire a client?
Oh God. So I recently had to fire a client, and it was a really interesting experience because so the client just absolutely refused to stop doing drugs. And like recreational cocaine, right? And so I'm like, look, like she's like, I'm not an addict. I'm like, yeah, like this is a problem. It's going to impact dramatically impact the value of the case. So I'm sitting down and I'm like, look, we cannot work together anymore. Like we can't do it. And she's like, why? Just because I do cocaine? I'm like, yes, exactly. I cannot represent you because you continue to do drugs. That's one pretty solid reason to fire a client. I would say the other, sometimes it's just, look, if you just aren't meshing with them. And for us, it's, if I can't imagine myself sitting next to this client in a courtroom and trying the case and I don't like them, then no, the jury's not going to like them either. So it's like, at that point, I'll give you another good story on that. And also a cautionary tale of why you should always ask about tattoos. So we had a client, Philadelphia County, trucking case, guy gets rear-ended. And I know he's got some tattoos because he's got some neck tattoos, right? But every meeting, he's got long sleeves. So I never asked to see his forearms. And we're getting ready to go to trial. It's in Philadelphia. It's July. So it's hot as hell. And there's no air conditioning in the courtroom. So everybody, like they run window units when there's no testimony, cool it down. And so everybody's in, short sleeves. So we're getting ready and he shows up. Now we're in Philadelphia County. My partner's Jewish. This guy shows up and he has a massive swastika on his forearm.
Oh,
No.
Massive. And I'm like, there's no way that I can walk this guy into a courtroom in Philadelphia County with the demographics of Philadelphia County and, my partnership with this guy with a huge swastika on his forearm.
What do you have to do in that case? Like go to the judge and explain the situation, I assume?
And the judge was Jewish.
Jesus.
Yeah.
oh wow.
Yeah. So, there was an offer on the table.
So you took it.
And I was like, listen, I said, at this point, I can't advise you appropriately. Like there is absolutely no, I hate you. Right?
Yeah,
like
morally,
morally, I hate your guts. Like, I physically do not like you. So the offer on the table, I think is fair and reasonable based on these circumstances. I want you to go talk to another lawyer about taking the offer. And if you don't take it, then I'm going to make a motion to withdraw. And I don't want to put this in a motion because I don't want the Jewish judge to see that you have a swastika on your forearm.
That's such a tough position because you're still
It's terrible.
ethically supposed to
Yep.
and you did the right thing.
Yeah. So, but yes,
Nuts, no?
cautionary
It's
tale.
crazy. It's it's never
Wait,
easy.
can we air any of this?
Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah.
that's
I mean, it's never easy firing a client, but I mean, sometimes, and say he gave great examples. And one of the ones that stick out in my mind the most was that this client that came to me, he was referred from a criminal lawyer that was in my first firm I worked for. And he said he's standing there at Boot Country buying a belt, and this car crashes through the front of the store into the counter, hits into him, knocks him down. He has a really bad back injury, and getting pain management treatment, may need surgery. And so I'm getting close to when I get the case and statutes, I still got a little bit of time. And I'm like, I just want to see the video. So I contact the store who was insured with State Farm. And I'm like, can I have the video? And the adjuster was, well, I mean, we don't give it out pre-suit. I'm like, you didn't do anything wrong. It was the car that the guy thought he put it in park or put in drive and he put in reverse and he went down the hill through the store. I go, just let me see the video or I'll sue you. so they could find. They send me the video, and we always want to get the video of what happened. It makes our job easier. So I'm watching the video, and you see my client standing at the counter, and you see him there first with a cane, which you didn't tell me he had a cane at the time, and you see him on the video look up, and then just start casually backing up 20 feet away from the counter. Car crashes through. My client's just standing there. He's walking up down the aisle, and I go, he never got knocked down. He never got hit. He never got hurt. He's completely lying.
Yeah.
So I sent
Fraud.
him a non-engaged letter. I sent him a copy of the video, and I sent it 2 days before Christmas.
Oh my God.
And he called me and said, my wife now watched this. They doctored the video.
Yeah.
I go, boot country, and say they doctored the video when they didn't do anything wrong. I go, I was like, you're lying. You're a liar, and I'm not going to represent someone who's making it up.
Yeah, that always
How
happens.
often does that happen? Where you guys get now I'm just curious.
Very infrequently.
Okay.
Very infrequently. I mean, especially like the work that Jay and I do. I mean, listen, people are either dead or not dead. So, we are very fortunate. We represent really tragically injured people or people who have been killed or so not often ananymore.
Not often.
But every now and then you run up against a charlatan, like somebody like, I'm just not sure about this.
Yeah.
Not sure about this one.
Well, it's the old saying, and I mean, my mentors taught me this, is clients deal with you on a need-to-know basis, and some shit you just didn't need to know.
Yeah, right.
You find out the hard way. You finally, and it's why I always tell lawyers when I talk to young lawyers, listen, the case, your client's case just isn't about the day of the wreck and what's happened after. No one's born the day of the wreck. Everyone has a history. Don't wait till you file a suit and the defense lawyer gets authorizations or subpoenas and get your client's past records. Get the records first and go back 5 years, 10 years. I've had clients, I've gone back 20. I want as much paper before the wreck as I can. We have to prove a negative, prove they didn't have a back injury, prove they didn't break that leg before, prove that they didn't have a drug problem, they weren't in counseling, whatever it may be.
Right.
And there's been times I've gotten the past records and it's made the case better. And there's been times going, if the defense lawyer gets this, we're screwed. Let me try to get this resolved. But clients just don't think it's relevant that they had 5 prior wrecks or they had a back surgery 6 months before your wreck or whatever it may be.
Right.
It's amazing the stuff that in their mind, their lawyer doesn't need to know because it doesn't impact their case when it really does.
I got a question for you. I don't know if I've ever talked about this. I know your husband is a lawyer.
Yes.
And kind of during law school started doing this. But what made you want to come hang out with lawyers and do all this?
So I always thought I'd go to law school, and I didn't because life got in the way, but I guess it's not too late. But when he started doing SEO for his brother and then started getting phone calls from other lawyers saying like, hey, can you do this for me? We just kind of looked at each other one day. My background is sales and management. So I said, hey, we got to start an agency. Right. And I'll do this side and you do that side. And then that was it. Now, it took me a long time to actually do it because we had first 1 kid, then 2, then 3. And for those first 5 years, I did very little. I did the accounting. I would literally go on QuickBooks and do the accounting and do random little things when I had a moment.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until 5 years ago that I started full time.
How do you like working with your husband?
I mean, who am I going to trust more than him? No one.
Yeah.
Now, of course, it has its fucking downsides, right? I always talk about the time we were watching the finale of Game of Thrones, and he pauses it, and he's like, "I discovered something today," and I'm like, "What?" And then he starts talking to me about local SEO, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You call your director of SEO, I just don't care. I want to finish this. It's Sunday. It's 10:30 p.m. And
Game of Thrones.
I know. I was really fucking annoyed.
Yeah.
So it's things like that I don't love, but we do completely different things.
Did you like that whole series, Game of Thrones?
I loved it.
Any part disappoint you?
I didn't love the end.
Yeah, and the big fight scene, the night scene, couldn't see shit.
Yeah,
couldn't tell who was stabbing.
Yeah, it's if you're gonna have a big fight scene, have it during the day.
Yeah,
I mean, wasn't the whole point that it was always in dark. Like it was like,
Well, you
don't
want to
wanna
see. I don't want to hear a fight scene.
No.
I'd
Yeah.
like to see a fight scene.
they took some shortcuts there.
I've
for
been
sure.
rewatching it. I think
We're
I'm back.
visual- we're
I
visual
want to
people.
rewatch
I'm up on
it.
season 7. So I've been rewatching over. I mean, there's a bunch of series I've rewatched. So I decided I rewatched Sopranos. I rewatched 24. I rewatched Justified. I'm rewatching Sons of Anarchy and Games of Thrones, like alternate.
Have you watched the new one? The prequel to Game of Thrones? What's it called?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't
There's
know
a
there was a
prequel.
prequel.
Yeah, it's really good. So they did it after. I think it's
Yeah.
called like House of Dragons. Or,
Oh no, yeah. And
Have
that
you
was
watched
on. Was that on Prime
No,
or
it was
HBO
Max.
Max?
It was Max.
Yeah, but
It
then
was
we
like
had
a year ago. There's only
Yes.
been one season.
I did see
Okay.
that.
No, I didn't see
And
it.
now I really want to see the next season. So it's like they go backwards in time.
It is good. I thought that the end of season 1 built really well.
Yes.
It started a little slow and had,
Yeah.
but I thought the end of season 1, the last 2 or 3 episodes, I thought were really good. I'm just
Yeah.
waiting for the next one to come out.
See, my idea for a podcast, you're already trying to take over as host.
Oh, I absolutely.
See?
Why not?
We need to do it. We need to do it.
It's a good idea.
See, it's a good idea, right?
I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Well, lawyers generally are very boring. We
Right.
we
I don't
always
think so. I don't think so.
well we
Our group, like
No,
the
our
people
group- our group is not boring.
Right.
but,
yeah, I don't know.
Jay and I we teach all over the country, and one of the things we tell people all the time is like, look, you're not as exciting as you think you are. Right? You're not going to just walk into a courtroom and just wow people with your magnetic presence.
Right.
Like it's just
Right.
not going to
Yes,
happen.
I agree. I think also like people think that lawyers look a certain way because of television. So everyone expects like
Yes.
fucking Harvey Specter to walk in, and it's
Right.
like 99%
That
of
was
the
a good show,
time,
too.
it's not Harvey Specter
No.
walking in,
No.
right?
And there's very few in a courtroom, very few kind of gotcha moments. Like it just
Right.
doesn't, I've been practicing a lot 24 years, I could tell you, and try to, shit ton of cases, maybe a handful of like, oh my God, I can't believe that just,
There's very few.
I can't
agree.
believe that actually just happened in this courtroom, it's so most of the time, it's whoever tells the better story is going to be successful.
But I think even like lawyers think that people see them that way.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. Well, no, so we've done a lot of studies on this. Like most people think that we're going to walk in and be obnoxious and abrasive and twist words and not let people finish their sentences and cut people off and all that kind of stuff. And so when you start doing that stuff in the courtroom, then you're just being on
You're
code.
feeding the stereotype.
Yeah, you're
And
you're on code.
perpetuating.
And- oh yeah. And
Yeah.
and now we've seen it happen is that people stop listening. Like just they don't it doesn't matter how great the testimony that you're getting or think you're getting, they don't care. It doesn't matter. They just
If they think
You
you're
just
being
shut
a
it
bully, you're being, again, it comes back to fair. If you're being unfair and you're raising your voice and you're being mean to a witness when they don't deserve it or ask for it, it just tunes them out. And then even if you're getting stuff that helps your case and should, persuade them to rule or find in favor of your client, it does the opposite. They tune it out, and it's because the lawyer messed up.
And how often do you think lawyers are doing this?
all the time.
Really? Still to this?
Yes.
Like,
Oh yeah. Especially
do you think it's like an insecurity thing? Like a young lawyer doesn't know better?
a little bit. So I think it's a couple of things. One, there's very poor training in law school. All right. Like I didn't have a deposition class in law school. Did you?
Yes.
I mean,
We actually, my law school, we actually had a deposition skills class.
but the Jay's law school, that's an exception rather than the norm, right? There's very few kind of skills classes like that. So you're being taught by, not a knock on law school professors, but you're being taught by people that, don't practice, right? So there's this kind of idea like, well, this is how you should cross-examine somebody. You should be, every question should be a leading question. Every question should be, you should be controlling that person. Well, that's not how people talk.
Right.
Right. And one of the things that we tell people all the time, like the judge tells them, don't leave your common sense at the door. Walk in, sit down. So if they're not supposed to leave their common sense at the door, and common sense tells you why this is not natural, why are they acting like this? Then they immediately start to think, and that's just poor training from years of just how this profession has been built.
We had the law school I went to also had a night school. So if you're in the night program, it'd take you 4 years to get through law school, but it was for law students who had families and full-time jobs.
My husband went to night school.
Okay.
He eventually switched to full-time.
Oh, there you go.
But, yeah.
And so in the law school they always felt that, they wanted a practical side of it. So they had a trial advocacy class. You could take it just as a class. They had a team you could compete, but they had a trial advocacy class. I was an adjunct professor, and I taught it one summer. And then they had like a Kentucky civil practice class that was taught by 2 judges, and the judges would obviously, it was at night. They'd come in after their docket, and they were circuit judges, so trial court judges, and then they would invite. There's your phone. They would invite local practitioners, plaintiff lawyers, defense lawyers, some criminals, some family, some PI, to present and be a guest for that night. And then there was also more of a pre-trial deposition practice class that you could take, and you would work all year, all semester on practicing how to take a deposition, practicing how to draft motions, argue motions. And the 2 people that taught that were also practicing lawyers in the community, just adjunct professors who had an active practice, and they would bring in guest speakers. So at least we got for a couple years some really good exposure to real lawyers, not law professors who don't practice law.
Yeah.
Now, is this one of the reasons you guys are involved with AJ Depot College?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, just, trying to, help lawyers, trying to help lawyers get better. I mean, I've been doing the Depot colleges now for better part of a decade.
That's crazy.
And, probably, I don't even know how many people I've taught, or worked with in doing deposition skills, but, it's evolving. I mean, what we were teaching and doing 10 years ago is now even different, now. And, we see like there's very few lawyers that really just want to keep learning and getting better at their craft. And there's a lot of lawyers that are just like, I got it. They've had a modicum of success, and, that success now they're like, I don't need to learn anything. I don't need to learn anything else. I'm good. But, we're always trying to push the envelope a little bit at some of the, deposition colleges and bring in some new ideas or theories. And I'm kind of one of the guinea pigs that goes out and runs into a brick wall a bunch of times testing this stuff, and then reports back. I'm like, that didn't fucking work. That didn't work at all.
Do you guys talk about that? Like, what, instead of like only talking about what does work, is it what doesn't work?
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you a good example. And we were actually talking about this, and we were in Arkansas. Animations. People people love them. They think they love them.
Well, someone texted you yesterday asking, for who you use. Yeah.
And, we're always like cautioning people, like, you'll go spend $50,000 on an animation.
Jesus, really?
Oh, easy, $50,000.
I'm in the wrong line of business.
Yeah. And then you show this animation to a focus group, and it does the exact opposite of what you want. But, so it's like, we're always like, look, sometimes they're appropriate. Most of the time they're not. And so, we tell these cautionary tales about these are some of the things that have not worked. And here's why. And so now you could build your case around, all right, well, I know that's not going to work. What is going to work, or what should work, or what can work?
But the lesson is, you have to test this stuff. You have to focus group this stuff, and I think some lawyers will go to a program, they'll hear Ed or me or someone else talk about, hey, on this case, I had this animation, I had this expert, and they go, I have to do that for every case. And they don't really sit back and think of, does it fit the case? Is it the story I want to tell? Will the jury see it the way we see it? And is it a good use of money? I mean, some animations, I've had some that have been 10 grand. I've had some that have been almost $70,000.
Jesus.
You know, I mean, I tell people a lot about the story of, because Ed and I just spoke in Arkansas on visuals and demonstratives at trial. And one of the things we talked about was in the wrongful death, the road edge drop off paving case my partner and I tried in July 2021, we had an animation. And I tell us, we used Sean Clackett's Seton Clackett Focus Graphics, and love Seton, working with him now on something else. But he put together an animation exactly how my partner asked, and we had this idea, this concept, and we went through the whole process. We had edits made. We got the final product. We watched it and go, they did exactly what we wanted. It looks really good. We cannot disclose it because it's taken the focus off what case we want to try, and the defense will just eat it alive and focus on what the truck did, not what the paving company did. So we didn't disclose it. We spent 25 grand or something on it. And we just ate the cost and just never disclosed it. Because it would have, we knew test-wise, it would have gone the opposite way.
But see, I think that's really cool that even though it cost you that much money, energy, time, when you looked at it and said, this isn't going to work, you were like, no, I'm going to trust my gut, pull it. Whereas I feel like some people would feel like, well, I spent so much money and I'm so vested that, you know. And
we pivoted and we found a guy in Lexington, Kentucky that does models. And out of styrofoam and spray paint, we create a model of the road edge with sections that could remove, and a model of the tire from the truck showing what would happen if the paving company did it the right way.
Tell Maria about your first plane ride on a very small plane in Arkansas.
I'm scared of flying.
So we're,
by the way, so is he.
I literally did hypnosis the other day for it. Like, that's how fucking scared I am.
So we're out in Arkansas with Satch Oliver, who's amazing. And we're hang out and we meet a little bit at Satch's lake house, and we go through some marketing and planning and business ideas and stuff and hung out. And then we get back to Satch's house, and the next morning we're going to Hot Springs, Arkansas to speak at the Arkansas trial lawyers, one of their events. And so it's me and Ed and Satch, a lawyer in Buffalo named Tom Grillo, and then another lawyer local to Arkansas. I forgot the guy's name. Michael, thank you. Yeah. And so Satch is like, yeah, we'll go, because he lives literally 3 miles from the airport, like the main airport you walk in, which is what XNA. But he's like, but we're not booking flights going through TSA pre-check. I had chartered a plane. I'm like, oh, that's pretty awesome. So we were pulling around, and I'm thinking, what size is the jet? How many seats? I'm thinking it's a jet. No, it's a little prop plane. And I mean, it's a King Air, but it's a prop plane. And I look at it and I go, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm like, what? And we get in, and it's small. And I mean, it's so small. Satch is like, hey, Jake, you take my hat, his cowboy hat. He always wears cowboy hat, and put it in the back. So like, I'm taking his hat off. Satch barely fits in there. I'm sitting there. Ed's cracking up. Tom Grillo's eyes are like, I'm going to die. Like, I'm just not going to make it. And I'm sitting there. And as we're getting ready to leave, the pilot's like, oh yeah, by the way, it may be a little rough. It's a 30-minute flight. It's like, maybe a little rough. I'm like,
maybe a little rough.
I'll let you take it from there.
So Jay is here, and the other Michael's here, and then Tom is facing Jay, and then Satch is here, and then there's like a little bench seat that I'm on, and the two pilots. And so, we
two pilots. That's
2 pilots. Yeah,
that's good though.
Yeah. So we take off, and
I could touch them. That's how close they were.
We take off, and we're in the air maybe 10, 15 minutes, and it's actually pretty smooth, not bad. And then we hit some, we hit some chops, and I'm watching. I can't see Grillo's face, but I can see Jay's face. And like the first time the plane, like, it
drops.
It feels like it drops a lot.
No, it does drop.
Right. And it does. And all you see it there. Whoo, 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 whoo. And I can only imagine Grillo is like, literally shitting himself, at this point. And Michael is just chatting away. He's like, oh man, that was a bump. That was a big bump.
Then he starts telling stories about
he's like, man,
the plane ride.
He's like, man, the one time he's like, we had to make an emergency landing, and Jay's like, whoo, that's really something. That's really something. And I'm just I'm watching this whole thing.
And you're not scared?
I mean, I've flown enough. I don't particularly love turbulence, but I get it. And I'm always like, the pilots of it, they're not even, their hands aren't even on the instruments, so, and the planes, I mean, they're designed for that, right? So it's not terrible. The stuff that always scares the shit out of, me on planes is whenever you're, whenever there's weather, like really, if it's lightning or snow or whatever it is, I'm like, how the hell are they going to take off and land? Like once you're in the air, I mean, it's, I mean, it's pretty well, you're fine. But so we're coming in and it's, it's a little, it's about, we get off and I look at, I mean, Jay is sweating. Grillo looks like he is like the white as the coffee cup. And so then we go and we speak. And then after we speak, we go to the horse races. Grillo, before we're getting back on the airplane, he is
I had enough bourbons to wear. It's no longer an issue. Well, I had to get back. Otherwise, it's a 4-hour drive.
Right.
We have to find the car. Yeah.
I would have done the 4-hour drive.
Oh, I was
numb enough that it didn't really affect me.
And the ride back wasn't as bad.
Back was not that bad.
The ride back was, was not as bad at all. But we were in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, in February. And when we were leaving Jackson Hole, it was dumping snow.
Okay, I don't like this. Can we change subjects?
Dumping snow.
My anxiety's going up. I literally just did hypnosis to try to get past this.
Oh, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine.
He looks scared right now. Look at him.
he's reliving it. But, like, how in the world is this plane going to take? I mean,
don't ask that question.
Dumping snow. And man, it was smooth as could be.
I have a question for you.
Yes. I have an answer for you.
What'd you think of Chef Vola's?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that? So hold on. We never even introed or anything. So we're totally doing this backwards. But to give everyone context, we're in...
I'm Jay Vaughn.
No, that's odd. We are in Atlantic City, which I am not a fan of. I had never been here before, though, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Ish. Yeah.
Right? But...
we got you switch hotels.
Yes, thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. Oh my God, I will be forever grateful for that. And yesterday was an experience.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about where we went yesterday.
Yeah, so we went to this place called Chef Vola's, and it's probably been around
early 1900s, 1920s or 30s. I think Jeff.
Probably 30s, 40s.
Jeff,
I mean, it's been around. It's in the third generation now. And it is as old school Italian as you could possibly imagine. I mean, it's a house and you literally go into the basement of the house, low ceilings, everybody eats family style.
Mm-hmm.
And, the owner comes out and I mean,
he's a character.
What a presence he has.
Oh my God. I was laughing because, he would get everyone's attention. Everyone would shut the fuck up, which never happens. Like, there was 20, 24 people.
Yeah.
And when he commanded the room, and then Larry tried to get everyone's attention. And I wanted to be like, get the owner, Larry,
get the owner. Get the owner.
And he just, the owner just sat there and just rattled off the entire menu.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you what we have for apps, for salads,
it was
for
like 10
entrees.
minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And he runs through it, and we can do it like this, and we can make it like that. And we have this sauce, and we have the blush sauce. We have the crushed clams, the chopped clam sauce.
Oh, the chopped clams.
That chopped
so
clam
good.
sauce was fire.
I told you.
It
the
was.
Chopped clams, that's one of the my favorite things on the whole menu. And then it's BYOB, so you can bring
and you brought your wine that you made, which we're going to circle back to, but you can't get a reservation at this place.
No.
I tried.
It's packed like that every night.
Yep.
I'm surprised you guys got such we had half the fucking restaurant.
Yeah. So we've been, obviously been going there a long time, but Jeff Reef, who is a really, really outstanding lawyer in Philly, he has a place down here and he's been going there for years.
And then his son used to work there for a short time?
It did.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah. Justin worked there for a spot.
Did. Yeah.
So Jeff kind of always sets it up when we're coming down here for the NJAJ Boardwalk, seminar. And it's just it's a huge hit. I mean, everybody freaking loves it. And
it's my second time. I was there in 2019. So before COVID, it was literally cash only, and there weren't printed menus. So at least now,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now, I think since COVID, due to business and everything, they now take credit
Yeah.
card, and they have the print menus. I'd never seen that before. One thing you didn't experience was also they have one bathroom and it's in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you told me that, I was like, yeah, I'm not using the bathroom
Yep.
here.
Yeah. But it's great. It's such a
I felt
great
special. I'm like,
spot.
I
Yeah.
was so grateful. You guys,
And we were talking. I was showing you about that one corner. I
Listen,
showed
you're
you
in our you're
Yeah.
our people.
thank
Yeah,
you.
You know,
and I showed you pictures I took in 2019. But in that one corner, there's an autographed photo of the cast from Sopranos.
Yeah.
And then there's the letter from the executive director and producer of Boardwalk Empire to the owner, to Lou, and because with the snapshot of screenshots from the movie or the series, because there's an episode where Chef Vola is featured in one of the episodes of Boardwalk Empire
Yeah.
with Steve Buscemi. So
That's
it's
so
really
cool.
cool. It's really
No, and
neat.
the food was
The
ridiculous.
food's outrageously good.
And he made you a special
He made me special.
from scratch special
Yeah?
chicken dish.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
haven't been eating gluten. So
Yep.
And
Yeah.
what you said was
you tried it. It's
Yeah,
delicious.
it was
And what about my gluten-free cheesecake?
awesome.
Yeah.
With the coconut.
Yep.
It was great.
It was so
Did
good.
you have any of the affogato?
No.
Oh, that's that espresso and ice cream.
I can't do coffee late at night.
Can't sleep.
Nope.
You could work on you should just drink coffee late at night and go on an airplane.
Mm-mm.
You'll be fine.
No. Why would I do that?
And people can check out on your story. You were on the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah,
that
we
was,
Ed's-
that was like such a cool
Ed's
part.
pouring
of it.
his wine.
Yeah, we were drinking wine on the sidewalk.
Yeah, it was freezing, and the owner comes out. He's like, "Not ready for you guys. So here's some chairs and plastic cups, and I'll open your wine bottle, but I'm not going to give you the opener. I'll open it for you."
Right. Somebody else's opener. Yeah.
But he was just like, he just has such a presence. I'm like,
Yeah, he's a good guy.
That's a cool
really,
spot.
really, really good guy. It's just that place has been, it's refreshing that
Yeah, it's something-
it's
it feels super old school. It's
it
like I
is, it
was
is.
transported in time.
Whether when I was there back in 2019, I forgot who told me the story. Don't know if it's true or not, but it matches. It fits with the lore of Chef Vola's. Is that one time someone called and they answered the phone and they asked for a reservation. And they go, "Who is this and how'd you get this number?" Because it was a place where you couldn't find the phone number.
Yeah.
Like only people connected that had the inn knew who to call to get a reservation. Like it was, I mean, you go out there, it's just this house. There's no signs. There's nothing.
It was
It's
really
great.
cool. And I
It's a
got
lot
to
of
taste
fun.
your wine.
Yes, it
I
did.
didn't want to drink, but
Well,
you
that's
said
all
I
right.
would be rude if I didn't taste.
You would have been.
Yeah, and I wasn't.
Yeah, see?
Ed's wine is
Yeah.
Do
fantastic.
you like it?
I did.
Yeah, we've been.
I was surprised. I'm like, you made this?
We did.
So
Well,
wait, is it organic?
is it organic?
I'm teasing you.
No,
Just tell us.
no.
Tell us how you make it.
So it's interesting. So I make it with, like 14 other guys, and the guy who we make it at his house is Jimmy Sperling, and so it's really cool. This is actually the 102nd anniversary of this winemaking group.
That's really cool.
So Jimmy's wife, Mary Kay, her maiden name is Mary Kay Gubbiotti. And so Mary Kay's grandfather came to the United States from Italy and settled in Pittston, Pennsylvania in the early 1900s. And then he started making wine with a group of guys around, like 1920. It was like 1920, 21. And then he made it and then passed it on to his son, who was Mary Kay's father. And then, he made it and then passed it on to Jimmy, and Jimmy, I've been doing it now for about 15 years. And the really cool thing is now, like, my one son, Josh, is doing it, and a couple of the other guys. So now it's like the next generation that's
really
doing it as
cool.
well.
And he'll
Do you-
ship out the bottles.
Yeah.
I've never done one.
And
Well,
the batch.
It's
I
okay. I
will
don't drink.
send
I don't
some.
drink. No, it's okay.
No.
Batch
I
two
don't drink
I'm
much.
going to send it for your husband.
If he
Never
doesn't
mind
drink
you.
much. I mean, no, I guess we will drink it. We're just not.
Yeah.
We try to not drink often.
The batch 2 years ago was good. The batch last year, it was so good. I had him send me more.
Yeah. Yeah. The last year was
It was
last
delicious.
Year, and it's all, we get our grapes from Napa. We make Petit Syrah. We still make a little bit of old vine Zinfandel, which are vines that are over 70 years old. And then we'll do an experimental barrel every year. We're like this year we have a red blend, which we'll bottle in June or July.
Don't you make limoncello?
Make limoncello.
That's cool.
I gotta send some limoncello. So it's like lighter fluid. I mean, it's basically like you put we get a old, like a wine barrel, and every time I think about it, I imagine like this is how like guys in prison make like alcohol, because it's just lemons and sugar, water, and then like grain.
Wait, doesn't Satch make something that is like, can we talk about it or no?
He makes, he has a beef.
No, the other thing.
Moonshine?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
apple
Yeah,
pie
what the
moonshine.
fuck is that?
Oh, my God.
So it's actually funny because I like he at Depocage, he'll bring a jar of like apple pie moonshine. Well,
It's so
obviously
good.
in Kentucky, I've had moonshine, and actually there's the cool thing is there's this. I mean, it's just basically it's
grain. It's
grain alcohol,
spices.
Yep, they have different flavors. So every
the apple pie.
I've never ever had this. I didn't even know it existed
it's
until
dangerous.
So
I think you're the one that told me.
yeah,
Jay.
so every October in Eastern Kentucky, a place called Rockcastle County, they do this fantastic 3-day, 4-day music festival called the Moonshiners Ball. And my wife and I go every year. We camp out, and it's music from 11 a.m. to like 4 a.m. It's all day, it's all night. They have food trucks there. But there's a guy, every time we get there and I get the tent set up, the first stop I make is I try to find the camping spot of a guy named Crash. Crash and his wife, out of the back of their pickup truck, sell big mason jars of moonshine, and they have different flavors. They have apple pie, they have watermelon, they have butterscotch, they have coffee.
and it tastes like apple pie.
Oh my God. They have grape Jolly Rancher. They'll have,
Ooh.
yeah. They'll do, and so.
Peach cobbler.
Yep.
Ooh.
So so the deal is you want to get to Crash's truck first, and you buy a ton of jars of moonshine, because you'll drink some there and then you'll take it back. It's like $25-$30 a jar. And, I'm walking back with just a box of, and my buddy who would come down from Maryland, he'll bootleg back and take like 20 jars of moonshine back to his friends.
And how drunk do you get from that?
Oh,
You have to.
I'll
yeah.
explain to you how drunk you
Oh,
get.
yes. I love this story.
So first time
It's
I
great.
ever drink moonshine, man.
It was his uncle, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm in Arkansas at Satch's house. Our flight got canceled, so he said, "Come back to the house." It's me, Uncle John, a couple of boys, his wife Cody, and he has two daughters. They were away. He said, "We're watch the Arkansas Texas A&M game." Satch also has he's a rancher, so he's got cattle and has amazing beef. So he's like steaks and
All
burgers.
Rankus.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be I'm like, this is great. So we get back there and he has this beautiful pool and really nice vista that you look out over. And so I'm sitting there with his Uncle John and got my feet up and I'm smoking a cigar. And me and Uncle John are hitting the apple pie moonshine back and forth, back and forth. And Satch comes over and he's like, "Hey, how much moonshine you drink?" I'm like, I don't know. I've drank this much. And he's like, "One's enough, 2 is too many, and 3, your legs ain't gonna work." I'm like, "No way." I don't even feel like I'm smoking a cigar. Next thing I know, I go to get up, my legs are not working.
Wow.
I am blind drunk at this point. And it's like, holy shit, this stuff is
It's potent. Like you have to.
and it is like, I'm not kidding. It's like drinking apple juice. That's how smooth it is. There's not.
That's scary.
Oh,
That's
it's
really
delicious.
scary.
You don't need to mix it. Oh, the other one we usually get apple pie, and then my wife likes the pineapple, and they'll put big chunks of pineapple in it. And oh my God, it's just it's
great stuff.
dangerous.
I feel like one sip and I'd be
It's
like,
dangerous.
that's good enough for me.
One sip is one little 3-ounce pour is.
so.
I'm
so
a
like-
lightweight.
So like what they'll do at especially before COVID, and now people are over it and back doing it. But you'll be there and a band will be playing, and next thing you know, you don't know here, and they just hand you a mason jar of moonshine. You're like, let me take a shot. You just got random, so you can't keep up with how many shots you take. And I mean, it's yeah,
but it's
neat.
serious.
So this leads me to my last question, and then I know you guys have to speak, and I have to speak, and we can wrap it up. But
You have to figure out what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
We do.
We don't know.
Before you ask that, do you like speaking?
yes,
Like, do you like doing this?
Yeah,
Because you're
I
very
do.
good at it.
thank you.
Yeah. No,
You did really good at Temple
You
College.
do really.
That's a really good presentation.
You did an
I
excellent.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had to give you like a motivational speech though before that. You were so nervous.
I'm always nervous. Like, and now it's like nothing.
Right.
Like before, it would be like I couldn't sleep the night before,
Oh
nervous.
man.
Now
You're
I'm
what
like,
am I gonna
whatever.
say? What am I gonna say? You know?
Just 5 minutes before, I'm like, I have like a mini panic attack, and then once like a minute passes, I'm fine,
That's good.
and I love it. It's
No, you
fun.
did a great job.
Thank you.
Really great job.
So, how important do you guys think it is to have hobbies outside of what you guys do? Because I feel like sometimes what you guys do as trial lawyers, it can be so immersive. And then the burnout can be, and then the health issues that can come
Mhm.
with it and all of that. So, like, I know you have your wine. You guys have all sorts of hobbies. How important do you think that is? And have you been really intentional?
I'll let you go
I mean,
first.
it's such a traumatic line of work that we've chosen. It's like secondary PTSD multiplied by every case we have and every case we've had before, of the photos we have to watch, of the video. I mean, I had to watch a case I turned down, but the police video came in late. And I had to watch a video the other day of a woman that wrecked her truck, and her arm is amputated at the scene, and she's there with a truck on her leg, part of it, yelling at first responders to get the truck off of her and to save her arm. And like, I had to watch it because I had to see if there's a piece of evidence in it, because I turned the case down, but see if something changed it. And I'm watching this just going, this is just what we go through. And it's traumatic. It's upsetting, but we have to push through it because, we have to know the story. We have to know everything that happened to be able to deal with experts, to deal with witnesses, to explain it to the jury, to advocate for our client. And if you don't have a release, an outlet, a non-legal outlet, a healthy outlet, it leads to drug addiction, alcoholism, suicide, everything else. And I've seen it happen with too many lawyers.
Like ping pong.
But for me, it's tennis. Like I took tennis back up probably about 7-8 years ago. I played in high school, and I quit before I went to college, and I'm picking it back up now. So I play tennis a couple days a week. I play competitive tennis. It gets keeps me, it's athletic, it's exercise, but also gets my brain working for competition. I can turn off work and sit there for a 2-hour, hour and a half match
flow.
And just play. And then the other time I like to play, I have it in my basement. I like to shoot pool a lot, and that calms me down. I did that in high school, a lot in college when I just need to relax. But I like Golden Tee. I can play the Golden Tee golf game. I have a machine at my house.
You also just got new golf clubs.
And I just got new golf clubs. We'll see what how those things hit.
And you're an occasional sailor.
Did that once, and that was one of my favorite trips of my life. But you have to have some outlet. It used to be basketball, but I had too many friends getting hurt, and it wasn't worth the risk of injury. So that's when I switched and got into CrossFit and tennis, and But you have to have something. My only unhealthy outlet is bourbon and cigars. A cigar, I can light a cigar up, and it's an hour and a half of time that stops. And I can shut everything else down, and it helps me unwind.
I will say both of you were at the gym. I walked in at 7:30, and you guys were done by that point. So
it is. If I have a religion, it's my religion. Exercise. Every morning, and I have a lot of hobbies, and I enjoy them. My whole family skis, and that's a big outlet for us, and we love it. Especially it's a activity that the whole family does together.
My kids have been. I think I've told you, they've begged me, and I haven't done it.
You should do it.
I know.
Do it. Have you ever done it?
No.
Oh, you should.
I'm a scaredy cat, though. I don't want to do anything.
No, you should do it.
I'm scared to ski too. So
thank you.
But
and flying?
No.
Yeah,
I'm good.
But I played basketball in high school, and then into my freshman year in college till I got hurt. And athletics was always a big part of what I did, and played basketball for a long time after that until very similar to the one day I was just like, my body is just beat up. I mean, beat up. I'm coming home after like a summer league game, and ankles are swollen. And
Jeez.
so my wife was like, "You're so what are you doing? Like, why? This is ridiculous." So I haven't played basketball in probably, man, it's probably been 8 years, and I don't miss it. I mean, I miss the competition, like Jay said, but I don't miss, my body just aching and just aching.
I threw my basketball shoes away in my basketball January of 2011.
Yeah, I don't miss it at all.
Well, we'll be watching a game tonight.
Yes. Oh yeah. We're going to the Sixers. Oh,
I'm excited.
They better win. Yeah. But I fly fish.
You what?
I fly fish.
What's that?
So you fish in mainly creeks and streams and rivers. You're wading in, or you're in a boat, and it's so there's basically two types of fishing. You have a fly rod, or you have a spin cast.
Oh, okay.
And so fly rod, it's your stripping and there's no there's tension on the rod, but not on the.
I didn't even know it existed.
So I fish a lot. My wife will drag me out hiking as much as she can, which I'm not a huge fan of, but she loves it. So I certainly do it. And
did she get you a new rucksack for hiking?
She did. She was like, I like
for Christmas, right?
Yeah, she got me a rucksack for Christmas. So you put like 20 pounds or 30 pounds in a backpack, and then you go hike it, which is fun. I was like, this is cool. I could do this. But probably the biggest stress really for me is I cook a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazing.
With garlic powder?
No. Never, ever.
I'm still thinking this in a box.
No garlic powder. No garlic
because
powder.
of Ed Ciarimboli, the Vaughn household does not have any garlic powder. We only buy fresh garlic.
Fresh garlic?
And good olive oil. I actually went to the grocery.
Wait, so what's your preference of brand for olive oil?
Oh, so there's a brand out of Italy called Intimio, and it's from Tuscany, and it's really good olive oil. It's really, it's really good.
What color is the bottle?
It has like a cream colored
because we get one from Italy, but I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, it's really good. And you could cook with it. So it's extra virgin olive oil, but you could cook with it.
Yeah, we only cook with olive oil.
Yes.
And I use a ton of garlic. Real garlic.
Real garlic.
Yes.
That's good.
I know.
That's good. So here's a funny thing though about garlic in Italian cooking. So we actually went to cooking school in Italy.
Oh, I want to do that.
Our travel agent signed us up for cooking class when we go this summer.
And wait, tell everyone what you're hooking us up with in Italy.
Oh, you're going to go on a tour of the Vatican. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. My great uncle's good friend Luciano is going to hook. He's already hooked up.
Luciano's already hooked us up.
Already hooked up Jay. And now that we know you're going, we got to get that taken
Saturday,
care
June
for
22nd is our 4-hour private guided tour of the Vatican and Peter St. Basilica.
But in Italian cooking, they don't put garlic in the actual dishes.
They don't?
No. So what they do is they'll take the garlic and they will flavor the olive oil with the garlic, and then they'll take it out, and the garlic will be served as like a little side dish.
Little condiment or something. Yeah.
What's that?
Like a condiment.
Yeah, you can put it on your bread, or you can smash it, or whatever you want to do. But it which I don't. We put garlic in our food all the time.
Yeah, so do we.
But when we were in Italy at cooking school, I was like, wow, this is really, really interesting that traditional Italian cooking, they don't put garlic in the food because I think it overpowers the taste. But that's probably the biggest hobby that it's total, really big.
I've learned from Ed, real garlic, kosher salt,
yes.
Fresh ground black pepper,
yes.
And really good quality olive oil, to the point of when I was first changing my olive oil out, I would be at the grocery and I'd be texting him pictures. Which one's okay? And he'd tell me one. And it starts with an L now. It's the one. I forgot the one I get.
I know.
I'm going to send you a picture. I'm going to have my husband send me a picture right now. I'm going to show you. If you approve or not.
You got it.
I need to know.
You got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I say it's one thing, like don't skimp on the olive oil.
I agree with you.
And he taught me to make a couple dishes. And once I'm like, I know it says fresh basil, but I have here the fresh basil, the squeeze tube in the refrigerated section. He goes, that's okay.
Yeah. You'll be okay with that. That's fine.
I want the recipes. You need to do a recipe book.
So where I actually am.
Really?
So my daughter Sophia is moving into her first apartment. So she's a sophomore. She's gonna be a junior, and so her and her two roommates, Liv and Katie, are moving into their first apartment. And so I bought her. And here's a quick story on how this kind of came about. So we have a house in Vermont, and Liv and Katie and Sophia were at the house, and myself and my wife go up the next weekend, and there's a jar of pasta sauce
She makes it?
No, a jarred, like it was like, whatever, like Rayo. I don't know.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And we couldn't have been more offended.
Oh,
We're
really?
like, we are complete failures as parents.
So you make your own pasta sauce?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait, but here's my question. Do you need diced canned tomatoes for it?
You can. I mean, I don't use diced tomatoes.
I just don't like using anything processed.
No. So you get San Marzano tomatoes, the whole tomatoes. Those are the best ones to make sauce with. But yeah, we can every year. We probably do about 60 jars.
What? Okay, we got to talk about this offline because I want to learn how to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's a cool process. We've been doing it a long time, and but so Sophia, I mean, we tortured her. We my wife, we put the jar on the. We're like we have a family group chat. Like
you made it the picture.
We're like we're in Vermont. Like we think somebody broke into our house and actually like cooked a meal and then left it because none of our kids would ever do this. Ever. No way. None of our kids. So please, if we're going to call the police. Like, we're really playing it up. And Sophia's like, that was me. And Liv and Katie were like, can't believe it. We're failures. We're complete failures that you're opening a jar of sauce from a store. And she's like, we were in a pinch. We were in a hurry. I'm like, not acceptable. You know that you could make sauce as long as it takes to boil the damn water. That's not acceptable.
Can you really?
Oh yeah, okay. Because sauce of the moment. It's literally as long as that sauce that you make.
I'll make a sauce now. You taught me how to make it.
Yeah,
okay, now you're just gonna have to tell us. Just tell us, how do we make it?
So, we'll tell you the one that that Jay makes is it's onion, garlic, kosher salt, olive oil, crushed red pepper. And then you get cherry tomatoes.
Yep. And
you basically just saute them.
Yep.
A little bit of basil. Basil and then,
or squeeze two basil.
I'm starving. Did you get to breakfast?
I'm forgetting one. I'm forgetting one thing. The
white wine.
A little bit of red wine. Yeah, a little bit of red
white wine.
Or white wine.
White
sorry.
wine.
Yeah,
like wine. Actual wine.
Yeah. Yeah. So you cook it off, and then you cook that, and it's a sauce while your water is boiling. It takes about 25 minutes.
Okay.
And his recommendations. I mean, this is like all the improvements in the Vaughn kitchen. I now have a pasta maker.
Yes.
And as my sauce is cooking, I make pasta.
You make fresh
and then
pasta.
I put the fresh pasta in boiling water for like 2 minutes, minute and a half, and pull it out and throw it in the sauce, and boom.
I wonder if I could get.
And the pasta maker is so easy.
Like ingredients from Italy, because I don't want.
You don't even need to get them from Italy. So
no, I just don't want gluten. U.S. gluten, like
Seminola flour, right?
Seminola. So the company Italy. So they they have a shop in New York,
everywhere.
Obviously,
LA.
Chicago. Do they have an LA?
LA, Las Vegas has one.
They're probably in Miami.
No, I haven't seen one in Miami.
So
but maybe I'm gonna look up.
They make a really good gluten-free pasta. It's excellent. It's
I'll look it up.
It's called Capelli, I think it is.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Excellent.
That's theirs?
Excellent. They bought the brand. They bought it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was their own, and then Italy, whatever the company is, I
didn't Capello's.
Yeah, I think it's Capello's. Yeah,
so
it's very good.
They have some biscuits that are gluten-free that are like, they're so good. We're like, are we making a deal with the devil? Like, what is this? They're ridiculously good.
It's good stuff. But the recipe, so now what we're doing for Sophia is, I say we, primarily me, is putting together a bunch of, recipes that we cook all the time for her to take into her first apartment.
That's really cute. I
Mhm.
want a copy.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, you got it. Yeah,
Okay. And send Jay a copy too.
Exactly.
he's good. He's on the way. He's
I'm good.
he's cooking up a storm.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm not a very good cook.
I will, before we break, I would say one of the other things that I think is really cool is we have developed a very, very, very close friendship and
Clearly.
bond. But it's there's a group of us, and you got to find, in our profession, I think if you find people that, like, nobody in our little crew is like trying to outdo each other.
Right.
It's just everybody loves each other and is, celebrates the successes, lives through the failures as well, because those happen too. But really is invested in each other's, not only careers, but lives and kids' lives, and the wives all get along. So I think
Absolutely.
that I don't, and I think that's kind of unique amongst our little crew. Like,
And we spend most time just busting each other.
oh God, unmercifully, which is fine. If you can't
it's-
take ball busted,
Yeah, that's all.
It's not
I mean,
gonna-
that's
yeah.
like rule one is if
Not
you're
gonna
too
happen.
sensitive and you get offended by getting your balls busted,
Yeah.
then you're out.
oh yeah, you're done.
One of the first things I said to Jay this morning is like, "You're such a ball buster."
Oh,
We're leaving the area by the elevators, and there's 3 sets of double doors. There's the middle set that the doors are open.
This is
for-
fucked up, Jay.
Then there's a set on the left and the right of that, and the doors work, but they have this silver thing in the middle, this long silver thing called an arm bar that they just created only at Borgata, and you decide to push the door on
And it didn't work.
on the wood panel part right above the arm bar, and it wouldn't
Okay.
open.
and you were
But
shocked.
Jay,
You
no.
were shocked that it
But
didn't
Jay
work.
just walked to the other doors that were open.
Because
But he gave me a side look like, "You fucking idiot," and didn't help me. Just like went through the door. So I was like, "Okay, door doesn't work."
I gave her a side eye.
Hey,
and
listen.
then we walked around. And I go, "Hey, it's this new invention, this arm bar. You push it in."
Just
She
hit
goes,
it.
I did push
hit
the
it.
door. I said, "Right, you didn't push the bar."
Just got to hit it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's kind of the close. I think that you got to find people that you
I
have
agree.
fun with, especially like doing what we do, because it can be so traumatic, and so it's fun hanging out with you and Rudy.
Love
It's
you,
a
Ed.
blast, and we always seem to have a good time. So thank you.
No,
Yeah,
thank
thanks
you
for having
guys.
us.
No. Thank you for.
Now,
I know you
Ed-
guys are busy.
Yeah, now we have to look through our slides and figure out what we're talking about.
Yeah. Here's what we know: we got way too many fucking slides. Way.
How
too
much
many.
time do you have? 30 minutes.
45 minutes.
45 minutes, and Jay told me we have like 190 slides.
But you might be able
We
to.
may
get
pivot
them.
and just shoot the shit.
No, we will
Ooh.
not. We will not be. No, yeah.
What's the subject?
Good question. Amazon
brokers, Uber,
Uber.
technology,
Yeah.
something like that.
You guys are gonna kill it. I just know it. I just have a feeling.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Shooting the shit might not be a bad idea.
Right.
Just taking.
Say, hey, you can read the slides.
Yeah, taking questions. Like, here's a PowerPoint. Take
Yeah.
the slides. Let's talk about some real shit here.
And you talk right before us.
Yep.
We'll heckle you.
Yeah,
Perfect.
you better warm up the crowd. We want to come into a hot room.
So Sagi, last time I spoke, went into ChatGPT and like gave it like my presentation name and was like, "Give me the hardest questions you could ask." And it gave him like these like absurd questions. And I was like, "I'm not like, we're not calling on you. Like, there's no way." And he's
That's
like, "I'm going to do it again today." I'm like, "No, you're not."
That's pretty cool. That's
No, it's
pretty
not.
cool. I like that. That's a good idea.
That's
No.
a great idea.
Oh God. Why did I should have
That's a great
waited.
idea.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, thank you guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to everything that Jay and Ed shared with us today. If you found this story valuable, please share it with someone you want to see succeed. Subscribe so you never miss an episode, and leave a 5-star review. It goes a long way to help others discover the show.